Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you so much for checking out another episode. Today's features Barnum Jack. Had a great time hanging with these guys, talking about their debut album and everything they've been up to. Talk about some of the history of this group and what's coming up for them this summer. You're going to hear their debut single, Gone, 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 along with some others from the record. Give you a little preview before you can get a hold of it. And follow along with them on your socials for more info. Do want to remind you, as always, Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Friendship Brewing Company in Wentzville, Missouri. Serving up all your craft beer needs. Over 25 rotating taps out there. All kinds of tasty beverages, delicious food. You got your burgers, nachos, flatbread, pizzas, and all kinds of tasty eats. Doing Fish Fry Fridays every Friday throughout Lent. So come out for your fish and get some live music on. They kick off the weekend on Thursdays with Singo Bingo. This Thursday, March 7th, is Party Starters. And Friday, March 8th, Jeff Waltshauser returns. And Saturday, March 9th, Fireside from 7 to 10. And out there at the Fly High location in Flint Hill, Missouri, you can get the same great beer, all new dining experience out at the Fly High Kitchen. And you can get live music Friday, March 8th from James Birtle. And Saturday, March 9th, Steve Kyle. Get plugged in with them on Facebook and Instagram for more. FriendshipBrewingCompany.com for your full concert calendar, beer menu, food menu, and much more. And if you are in the Hannibal, Missouri area, great news. Friendship Brewing Company just launched their third location out there. So come swing by and grab some Friendship Brewing Company beers and some Sidekick barbecue and have a great time. Again, friendshipbrewingcompany.com. If you need anything else from me, hit me up on the socials. Email me, rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. And everything else, rockpaperpodcast.com. Would love to hear from you all. And with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy this brand new episode with Barnum Jack.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
We are Barnum Jack. And you're listening to Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today with Barnum Jack. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, Shane.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, this is very cool. At least, 3/5 of the band.
3/5 of the band.
Yeah.
Missing a few, but we this will be fun. And I'm excited to sit down. I know this kind of been a while in the making. I know Barnum Jack's been around for a little while now.
5 or 6 years now.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I remember the first time we played was it was in like 2018 in your dad's Avery's
That's true.
dad's basement.
Yeah. We had Sean Camry with us and Bryn Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was straggling there was water running down from the edge into the drain. I was straggling the water.
Yeah.
trying to play.
No, it was great.
It was fun.
Yeah,
that was first Barnum Jack, at least. But
the
we've been
first
playing together
Right.
for longer than that.
Yeah.
At,
Definitely like
Pops.
Yeah, probably like a year before that at least. I feel like, or
Well, that's kind of what's been fun for me about doing this show is like, I feel like I've kind of like got to watch you guys grow up through this show and stuff.
totally,
like,
man.
So it's really cool to see, the various projects we've been a part of over the years and different things we've done. But yeah, man, it's just fun for me. Like I said, having all this documented and preserved on the podcast and everything.
Absolutely.
And so but yeah, let's go back. I guess before we get rolling too far, you guys want to properly introduce yourselves for everybody listening so they know your voices.
My name is Sam Abishon, and I play the mandolin.
My name is Sam Avery, and I play the guitar and sing the songs.
My name's Chad White, and I play banjo and sing vocals.
Yeah.
And who are we missing today?
Oh, yeah.
We normally have
Go ahead.
We have Jackson Ramsey on fiddle and Will Miskell on bass as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
all vocalists too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot to say I sing.
Missed it,
I sing.
He did sing, and he
a few
does
numbers.
indeed sing on this album.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about the album is everybody sings on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we, I guess let's take me back to the kind of the origin of this project. And you were saying that you guys kind of started on a jam at Pops, or
Pops Blue Moon used to have like an open, the Keep It Grassy Jam as they called it, but it was an open bluegrass jam basically where you could come bring your instrument and everybody plays bluegrass. And for me personally, after going there for a while, you gravitate to kind of your own tribe and the people you look like. And
Yeah,
you
you
guys
get
were
that.
younger and had, patchy facial hair, and I fit right in. And so I started talking to Sam, and we hit it off talking about Fish and the Grateful Dead and music. And I was talking to Chad, and Chad had just such a deep appreciation for bluegrass. And both these guys, really, I was like, man, I want to play music with these guys. I want to, be around them and cultivate their energy. And eventually, we just started talking. We were like, why don't we put something together? And through everybody else that we met at the jams, we got together in my dad's basement and made some bluegrass happen. And 6 years later, here we are putting out an album.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. This so the record we recorded just with last fall, and be ready for everybody coming up this spring here.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys give me a little sneak peek of it, and I really enjoyed it. It was listened to it again on my drive over, and had a lot of fun with it.
Thank you.
But obviously, like I said, I've known you guys in a couple various aspects, but where does like your real love of bluegrass start for you guys? Was that were you all pretty young when finding the love for that, or?
I was gonna say for me, I was pretty young when I first found bluegrass. Like I first grew up, the first thing that got me interested in music at all was like the Beatles and like classic rock, I guess. And then a friend of my mom's exposed me to bluegrass, and it was the first time I ever heard it, and I was immediately very gripped by it. I don't know. I'm not quite sure why. I think it was just cool to see people like shredding acoustic instruments.
They call it the bluegrass bug.
Yeah, right. But I caught it, and I've been very into bluegrass music ever since then. And I'd say it's probably around maybe like 13, 14, around that time.
I was definitely a little later. I was probably 17 or 18. And mine came from the Grateful Dead. Jerry Garcia played in a group called Old and in the Way with Peter Rowan and a bunch of other bluegrass legends. And hearing that music, I was like, wow, this is just so almost raw. And like, there's so much, you can tell that the guys playing it are passionate about it. And for me, coming from a background of the White Stripes, the Flat Duo Jets, and like bands where it was very much, in the moment and like, again, cultivating that energy like on stage, bluegrass was one of those things, especially watching it at the Pops jams. Just seeing how everybody could just go up there, as long as they had an instrument and play all these songs that we all knew without even talking about them. Mm-hmm. But we all seemed to gravitate towards the same songs and the same artists like Flatt and Scruggs, Bill Monroe, Larry Sparks, and just how much of it was for like the everyman almost. Really,
Oh, yeah.
really appealed to me.
Well, for me, it was my grandma. She enjoyed bluegrass, and when I was growing up, she would take us to Merrimack Music Theater in Stillville, and we'd go and see like Ricky Skaggs and Ralph Stanley. And I never really thought much about playing, bluegrass. I played piano for years. I played guitar. And then one day I just was listening to it and just kept hearing the banjo and decided that I'd try playing it. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what got me into it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's one thing I feel like it's, I don't know, maybe more rare, I guess. And a lot of guys pick up guitar or stuff, but like to really find somebody young that really wants to hone in on a banjo and stuff. Like,
Yeah, a lot of times it's, a lot of more prominent banjo players grow up around it. Their dad plays or their uncle plays. So, and my dad and uncle never really played. So I was just, all right, well, I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah, man. Carve your own path.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up around it a little bit. My dad would play like in some jam type of situations. I don't think he ever really fully had a band that he was a part of, but he would like sit in on some, and he played a little bit of harmonica, and he would occasionally sit in with some friends that played, and I knew it was like some more bluegrassy type stuff. And sometimes I do have a memory of like we went to somewhere, some kind of like whatever it was, maybe some kind of festival or some kind of thing, when there was like a bunch of different little jams going on and of some sort in this room. But anyway, I remember like, it's not really full on bluegrass, but I remember I have a distinct memories of Ozark Mountain Daredevils, like Chicken Train, and like in playing, we would like have that on, and we would like play along with it, like me and my brothers were singing it, and it just felt like we had like that sort of family band dynamic a little
Yeah.
bit, like even though it was
that's a whole other thing with the bluegrass thing.
Right.
So many of these great bands who really laid the blueprint were just these family bands,
right.
Yeah.
who just all knew how to play music together and did it so well.
Yeah. I was going to say, to go off that, like the family band thing is huge, and that's really cool about bluegrass, but also just like the jam aspect of it. You have songs
Yeah, you
that
still
are
have that
standards.
family
Yeah,
feel.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's easy to just come together with somebody who you've never
If somebody
played with
can't
before.
make a gig,
Yeah, but you share the bluegrass
you can
bond.
call somebody else.
and you have the standard
Yeah.
song, so it makes it easy to play with other people.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing I'm never, I never really played. That was like the extent of my like I'd sing some songs with the dad, but like
Everybody plays their part.
right. But as far as like getting like that kind of stuff, like as a fan, man, it really like blows my mind that like kind of like the unspoken thing where you guys can all feed off each other and like know that you already know these songs or how these the be able to quickly pick it up on how it goes and stuff. And like, so it's just, for me, it's pretty fascinating watching like a group of musicians that have never played together make it seem like they've been doing this together forever.
Totally.
Like, it's
Yeah.
like,
Make it look easy too.
right. Yeah.
I compared a lot in that way, kind of to the like the jazz scene, because jazz has standards, and everybody's a kick-ass player, and like you can sit there and watch it and be like, oh my gosh, this is mind blowing. Like surely there was some prep put into this, but you go to a lot of these jazz jams and it's the same like sort of thing where people just walk up there and they're like, oh, Donnelly, let's do it.
Yeah.
Where bluegrass is that same way, where you can kind of sit there and watch and just be like, oh my gosh, this is insane.
Right.
But you talk to the guys and they're like, yeah, I didn't really know what was going on. Or,
Yeah.
Especially at these jams and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I've heard that song a couple times, but it's like, oh my gosh, you just shred that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It blows my mind every time, but it's fun. And, but yeah, so you guys jammed for a while. How long does it take to you officially put a name on it? Like that this is, we're a group and stuff.
Wasn't very long.
I was going to
wasn't
say we
very
were
long.
definitely doing gigs as Barnum Jack back then.
Yeah, there was some deliberation early on the name. The very first name that we put into the ether was the Smith Brothers, but that was short-lived, as none of us are last name Smith.
I don't recall that.
I
Very
kind of
short-lived.
recall that. I think actually.
But one day I was just listening to some Stanley Brothers, and this song came on called "The Girl Behind the Bar," and I was listening to it. And, there's one thing for bluegrass, there's a whole lot of murder ballads.
Right.
And this was one of those songs, and the murderer in the song, as it were, was a fella named Barnum Jack. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh man, that's a great name. Like, it's kind of catchy, you know, the whole Barnum thing. I mean, people know P.T. Barnum, of course, but so there's already some word association where it'll stick in people's heads. And I brought it to the rest of the gang, and they were like, yeah, it's a good name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the name a lot.
Yeah. I think in a, you know, in a weird way, you know, maybe not in the murder sort of way, but I think it does fit us. You know, I think, you know, when people think of Barnum Jack, you know, I want people to think of, you know, just who we are and just
Right.
some dudes
What
being
was-
dudes.
What was the name of that first place we played at down?
Oh, the Haunt.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Was it a haunt
I
or
thought
was
that
it
was the first place.
I remember
on
the first place.
Gravoy?
Yeah,
by
dude.
Cybergs.
Yeah,
I think it was the Haunt.
Oh,
River
no,
City.
that was later. That was
Oh, that was
Yeah,
later?
so our very first gig was at a place called the Haunt, and
It's kind of a Halloween.
It was
theme.
very
it was
haunted.
a Halloween themed bar, and you know, bluegrass fit the course for that night.
Yeah, for that night. Maybe not every other night they've had there.
And but it was good. You know, it was our first show, so we were, you know, pulling out all sorts of stuff.
You played Johnny Be Good.
I was
played
gonna
Johnny
say,
Be Good.
I remember doing Johnny Be Good.
Yeah.
I feel like we did Maybelline too.
Yeah. Well, that's one of those things. You know, that was kind of the world that I was coming from, and I was like, these are the songs that I know, and these are
That
the
was
songs
fun.
that I love. And later found out that there were actual bluegrass covers of those songs. But yeah, so the Haunt was first, and then I think
I remember River City Pub.
Or yeah, River City Pub
River
was
City
the place,
Pub.
and that was on Gravway. And I did like an open mic there for a while. And one time Chad came up, and we did a whole bunch of songs
We kind of
together.
just turned it into a bluegrass jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially.
But
You came up there too. didn't
Yeah, I
you?
remember. I remember us playing up that. Like, I remember playing up there once with you, like
Yeah.
by ourselves, and I also remember Barnum Jack playing up there.
and man, these guys, they were the nicest people ever to own
Right.
just a neighborhood bar. Because
Do they even still do music there? Like,
I don't know if they do, but I remember being like, oh, you know, I'd love to get my band in here, and they were all, oh yeah, we'd love to have your band here. And so we show up for the gig, and they got huge banners, like all on the front of the building, all on their back patio, Barnum
was
Jack
the whole
at
thing.
the River City Pub, and we're like, all right, yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
We made it.
Yeah.
I still
man.
got the banner and everything. It was big.
Yeah.
The first time our name was on a side of a building.
Nice. Very cool.
And what was after that?
I don't know. I
the
remember
Ready
us doing
Room?
a lot of like we've played at the Ready Room. I remember us doing a lot of farmers markets and like private parties
The
and
classics.
stuff. Playing
Yeah.
out in Waterloo.
Which I will still do, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Those are some of the best,
Yeah.
most enjoyable gigs.
yeah.
For sure. That's another thing with bluegrass. I feel like so many farmers markets and
Sure.
you know, pumpkin patches.
I mean, the cider is just
yeah.
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the fall is really like
We've definitely played some fall festivals.
everybody loves bluegrass in the fall.
Nice. Yeah, man. Well, let's give them a little sneak peek of what you all been up to. This is, like I said, we got a official the debut album ready to be released here shortly, but we have will be the lead single due out on February 22nd to all your streaming platforms, and this is a song called "Gone, Gone, Gone."
I'm standing here looking for you, searching far inside my mind, just to still be here with you. Though it seems you said goodbye, well now you're gone, 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 and I'm wandering along those same meadows we used to ride. I'm blue, 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 I wait here for you, wishing you were still by my side, and wishing that you never said goodbye. How can I ask more than I've given when I know what it is worth? You keep me asking for what's hidden deep inside this hollow earth, and now you're gone, 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 and I'm wandering along the same meadows we used to ride. I'm blue, blue, blue while I wait here for you, wishing you were still by my side, and wishing that you never said goodbye. Been rough to travel, I will answer for my shame. And though you know none of my struggle, here I stand all the same. And now you're gone, 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 and I'm wandering along the same meadows we used to ride. I'm blue, blue, blue while I wait here for you, wishing you were still by my side, and wishing that you never said goodbye.
But what do you guys like to tell me about this particular one?
Sure. So,
Written by Sam Avery here.
yeah. This is a song. It's, again, you're holding on to those close-knit bluegrass traditions of gone, gone, gone. Guy's talking about his spouse or whoever it may be of the feminine variety, and she's left him, and he's looking back on his life, and he's like, man, I really miss her. She's gone, gone, gone. And he's thinking about all the things they used to do together, and yeah.
When you guys are writing these, like, Sam, do you like think of like you have like these lyrics? Do you guys all contribute to your own parts in, or do you already kind of have a vision of where you feel like the song's going to go? Or
I feel like a lot of times I'll kind of lay like a blueprint, and then bring it to the guys, and especially with Sam, I'll talk about the lyrics. Like, does that sound all right? Phonetically or stuff like that. And then when it comes to like the chord progressions and the actual hitting, that's a full band kind of thing of like, oh, what if we do this here, this there, and I think that shows a lot on the album, not to deviate from the single, but on the album, there was a lot of moments in the studio where we were like, oh, well, let's all drop out here, or let's just have the banjo and the fiddle here. And so, yeah, it's definitely a multi-conglomerate kind of thing. Everybody's getting in.
Right. Yeah. Everybody gets it's definitely, as you listen to the whole record, everybody's getting solos and different parts to shine. And like I said, everybody's singing too. So there's different multiple lead vocals on it, which keeps it fresh. Every song's a little different than the next. So, but yeah, so you guys went to Sawhorse Studios in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yep.
And
With Jason McEntire.
Yeah, man, one of the best. Jason's
he was great.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's I'm a big fan of his work, and then get to know him a little bit better as a friend. Like he's a great guy and a great hang, and really talented producer. So
yeah.
I
was going to say that's one of the things I like about him. Like he obviously had never heard our music before, but working with him, it felt very comfortable for him to even suggest stuff that we could do on the album, and different ideas for harmonies and things like that, which it's really cool.
Yeah.
What do you feel? Is there one that really changed up with Jason's input at all, or are they?
There was one song where we all switched instruments.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say which song.
All right.
And so be listening for that.
Yeah.
And that was something that Jason was like, yeah, let's give it a try.
Yes. There's it's one of my favorites for I don't think they do it on the albums or anything, but the Andy Frasco, seeing him live, and there's usually in his live shows, they'll all just
he does that thing.
They all just rotate, and except for the saxophone player. He does. I don't think he switches,
Yeah.
but everybody else trades instruments, and so it's pretty entertaining to see like Andy go to the drum kit and then or play guitar and all this whatever. So it's just but I mean they're all like proficient, I guess, at their various instruments, but they're the ones that they're they really shine on. But anyway, it's entertaining for sure as a live show element to like everybody just
Introduce
swap.
the swap.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So maybe it's something to think about for
We'll have
the
to do
live
that
show.
at I think we've done that at a gig
Have
before.
we done it again?
Well, me and Avishon will switch every now and
Yeah.
then. He'll play the guitar and I'll play the mandolin. Or
I'm trying to think if Barnum's ever tried. We should try it at a gig.
we should try it live.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Will could play banjo. I know he could.
We'd shred the banjo.
But get involved with Barnum Jack on your Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube for more info. And again, that single "Gone, Gone, Gone" due out on February 22nd, and we're gonna continue to slowly leak a couple more along the way until we get But we do have an opportunity to come see you all live and talking about some of those kind of festival type of settings and stuff and things. But this is kind of along that. But you guys are playing a fish fry on March 8th.
Yep.
And this will be some of my favorites. I love a good fish fry, and the fact that you're bringing in some live music. Again, man, can't go wrong there. That's going to be a fun Friday night for sure.
Yeah, we figured the fish fry would kind of match our vibe as a band, and it's at St.Ann Catholic Church. I think we're playing from 5 to 7, something like that.
Yeah, 5:30 to 7:30.
Yeah, 5:30 to 7:30, maybe sometime around there. And it'll be the first place you can purchase copies of the album.
Yeah, unless you see us walking down the street.
Yeah, it'll be the first place copies of the album are available before they're released online. So, should be fun.
Nice. Yeah. What's your guys' favorite fish fry item? Do you think about?
I'll be honest. This will be my first fish fry.
Really?
I've never been to a
Oh,
fish
yeah?
fry. Yeah.
I always like that they have spaghetti.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've not been to this fish fry, but I hope they have hush puppies.
Oh yeah, sure, man.
they might have hush puppies.
That's a staple for sure.
Yeah.
I do find it interesting that like of all the things, like spaghetti's made it into the buffet line.
Yeah, you got like
I didn't
spaghetti
realize that.
or like a grilled cheese
Yeah.
or like fish and like a salad.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Some fish, some hush puppies and can't go wrong with that, man. But
Absolutely.
there's nice St. Patrick's Catholic Church by my house out in Wentzville, and they always do a big old fish fry during Lent and everything. So yeah, we try to make it there at least once. When we try to, if we can make it more, it'd be great. But at least once to experience it. But
Totally.
yeah,
They're always good community events. You know?
yeah. But yeah, that's we don't really they don't have any live music there, so thinking about that, it's like,
Well, you'll have to come to this
right,
one.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, I was
Drop
gonna
it
say,
off,
I know
yeah.
this fish fry. This is where I went to church growing up, and I know the lady who organizes all the music there got a hold of us through Jackson, our fiddle player, because her son is one of his best friends. So that's how we got connected with this gig. Yeah.
It's amazing for us. I feel like so many of the gigs that we've had and so many of the memorable gigs that we've had have almost fallen into our laps.
Yeah. It's we're not really seeking it out, but
Yeah, we met a wonderful woman who had a place over kind of by the loop, and at the risk of overindulging in her personal life, her home was huge. And I mean, this place was giant. And so she had us do a little fall festival there. And she ended up bringing us back for some parent
Yeah, the next
get
week.
together the next week.
Yeah, she was
couple
you guys got to
different
come
gigs.
back here next week.
And it's just amazing, seeing giant houses like that.
Oh, yeah.
Areas that you don't normally
Yeah, it's
see.
just stuff you
The
wouldn't
nicest
expect, you know?
people.
And the
Oh, yeah,
nicest
yeah.
people. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
But something like that just fell into our laps, and then we ended up playing at the Ready Room, which I know we kind of mentioned earlier, and that was the same sort of thing. It was just
A random Facebook message.
random Facebook message. This guy was like, "Hey, does Barnum Jack want to play at the Ready Room?" And we played him, and we played them right out of business. And,
Yes, that was a
It
big,
wasn't
that's a
long
big,
after.
That's
it was
a big room.
Yeah, and it was a whole kind of Americana night. But definitely
Yeah.
one of our first like big shows.
Yeah, that was like one of my most memorable ones.
Yeah.
Early on for sure.
Yeah. Now with this record coming out and something, I know you guys have other things you're part of also, but would you like to see Barnum Jack get on the road and try to spread the word around, get some
I think
more
so.
eyes in
I mean,
here?
I would love to. I mean, that's kind of like the thing with putting out the album is I feel like it might give us some more opportunities, you know? I'm just interested to see where it goes after
Yeah.
we put it out, see how people like receive it. And yeah,
No expectations, but definitely.
I'd be interested
goals.
in playing more shows
All right.
for sure.
We could definitely do a good run.
Yeah.
Totally.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, it'd be fun, I think, especially just, loading up the van and hitting the road with the buds and spreading the word around. But yeah, I just didn't know if that was something, that working along with the promotion for this record and stuff, if that was something you guys thought about much yet. But
Yeah, definitely right now, at least in my opinion, like cultivating that like internet presence almost. And this is just what you got to do.
Right.
And getting that, experience online and seeing like what works and engaging the fans online. And that's a big thing with having physical copies of the album out now, but then kind of trickling out single releases on Spotify is all
Sure.
just how does the algorithm work? How can we get this album on top of the Bluegrass charts? And every album, coming after it. And again, just kind of cultivating the whole internet presence and then moving that forward into the branching out to different areas, giving something that people can listen to or giving the people something that they can listen to and know who we are first before, going out and playing at a show where, 6 people show up. And we love those 6 people, but
Right.
I like 600.
Yeah. It does seem like there is maybe not full on bluegrass, but definitely just Americana in general, has made a real big resurgence lately.
yeah.
We love Billy Strings.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Billy's a rock star out there,
Heck yeah,
he's
he is.
and but I mean, you see Zach Bryan's doing arenas, and
Yeah.
of course, Sturgill's still on top when he plays and stuff, and and all these guys, there's a lot of really great stuff happening, and especially seeing young people involved that especially your people your age and everything too.
Yeah.
You guys aren't the only ones in this movement. There's a lot of people that want around your age that are coming out to these shows, which is, like I said, is great to see. And that we are getting this kind of, like I said, resurgence and people interested in this music again. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for that, for something like this to really catch on. And, it's like,
I think too, one thing that in particular makes us different is, so there's the traditional bluegrass, and then there's kind of like the new grass, the progressive bluegrass, and of course we love the progressive bluegrass. But being like a more traditionally based bluegrass band, I almost think now helps set us apart from other groups because there is so much progressive bluegrass going on that people are going to be like, "Hey, man, let's get something like the classics,"
right?
And that's where we come in, and we're that kind of classic bluegrass sound that was the origin of everything. Yeah.
Awesome. I was going to say, I think that's a good way to put it. I think the album has a lot of traditional sounds on it, but the songwriting and some of the songs are a little bit more progressive and different from what you'd hear Bill Monroe play or
For sure.
I mean, I don't know, Flat and Scruggs they were trying all different types of stuff. So
they're crazy.
yeah.
That's one of the things that I enjoy most about the whole album is the original aspect of it.
Yeah, I'd say so
And
too.
it's Barnum Jack sound. It's not. I mean, you can take and pick stuff from other.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Totally.
End of the day,
That's what I think. That's what I think it's all about. Is whether it's 5 people or 6 people or whatever. It's just it's gonna sound different every time, no matter who you got in the band. And so when I think of getting the 5 of us together, I feel like the 5 of us, not to toot our own horn too much, but the 5 of us are really good at what we do.
Right.
And that is one thing that I think I'm so excited about the album and getting that out to people, is people seeing that and being like, oh my gosh, like this has been going on. And I haven't experienced this to the fullest effect yet. I got to hear more of this.
I was going to say, I think we've got like 3 videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
like all we
granted, it
have
just
of it.
started the channel, but putting the 5 of us in a position where more people can hear us, and being able, again, from a personal point of view, being able to get Sam and Chad and Will and Jackson and Blake and Chad's wife Mo, who sings on the album, or Morgan, in a position to strut your stuff, is something that I take a great amount of pride in.
Yeah.
Being like, everybody look at these people because they're great at what they do, and it's time to recognize.
Yeah. That was it was fun to learn that you said Morgan wrote and performs on the album, which I was trying to, when I was listening, I was like trying to place the vocal, like I was like, I was trying to figure out
Who is that?
Look at pictures bus.
Right. Yeah. And I was
Guys.
Well, I'll make it short, but the funny thing is, they mentioned earlier playing at Pops Blue Moon a lot. Morgan and I actually met one night at a jam there. But long story short, her songwriting was a surprise because I didn't know about it at first. And so I, automatically picked up the guitar, and for the last 4.5, 5 years, coming on 5 years, we've just been playing around with writing songs and music.
cool.
So this is one of them,
yeah, man.
with more to come.
Yeah, it was nice that this one that you guys felt that belonged on the album, and it's great. It fits right in. It's a great tune, and so I'm excited to hear some more from her and see what else she's got coming up. So
That'll be coming out on the song in question here.
Pennies.
It's called Pennies.
Yeah.
That'll be coming out March 14th
right,
on streaming platforms everywhere. And not to go on a whole nother sidebar about this, but another kind of moment where, so many times me, Sam, and Chad have gotten together in this very living room and sat and played, who knows how many Bluegrass songs in a night, just hanging out or writing or, whatever. And and then Mo came in one day and was like, I got a song.
You guys watched all that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
was gonna
sat
say.
down
I remember she played that song, and we were
and me
immediately
and Sam
like,
were just,
we were like,
flabbergasted.
that needs to be recorded somehow, some
Yeah.
way.
And it was, immediately I was like, man, this would be awesome on the album. Again, just have that, like you were saying, kind of a change in pace with the vocals. And again, it speaks to that
And it was
kind
a
of down home
Yeah.
vibe where it's just, that was a call on my part just to have Mo and Chad sing on that song. Because that's the first time that me and Sam heard it. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it
blew
was a
our
great
minds.
experience in the studio too. I'll cherish those memories forever.
yeah. Is she? Is that the only featured artist on this record?
Blake, I was gonna say Blake Cordy, who plays with Riverbend and Silver Creek Bluegrass, and he plays with a bunch of people around here. He plays Dobro
Yeah.
on how many songs is it? 2, 3?
I think it's 3.
Three songs.
Nice. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He adds that sweet feel that some songs just
That
yearn
bluesy
for.
feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, we mentioned, we've been teasing at it, but you will be able, if you, like I said, maybe if you come to the Fish Fry, you can grab a copy physically there, but streaming wise, this record will be available digitally everywhere in April
Yep,
3rd.
April 3rd. Yep.
So keep an eye out for that. And then but we do have another one we wanted to leak out there, give you a little sneak peek again before you can get it all. But this is a song called I Seem to Forget to Remember You're Gone.
Yep.
And
You got it all.
yeah, all right. Yeah.
I seem to forget to remember you're gone. I'm walking through clover that used to grow green, and listening for birds whose songs we did sing. Now just a memory all shrouded in gray. I think back to good times we had yesterday. could she be? Afloat on a river, approaching the sea. While I lay in wonder, waiting for dawn, I seem to forget to remember you're gone. Have all fallen from our favorite tree, where we'd spend the hours enjoying the breeze. I look for the spot where we carved our names. Now mine may be gone, but yours still remains. Oh where, oh where, oh where could she be? Afloat on a river, approaching the sea. While I lay in wonder, waiting for dawn, I seem to forget to remember you're gone. She be afloat on a river, approaching the sea. While I lay in wonder, waiting for dawn, I seem to forget to remember you're gone.
This one actually features Blake. Not to cut you off, sorry,
okay.
But yeah, one thing I like doing is wordy titles because I think they're funny.
Right.
And I like, somebody sitting and have to go, I seem to forget to remember you're gone.
All right.
So that was just a line that I came up with, and yeah, and kind of just steamrolled from there,
Yeah. This, I mean, there's a little bit of a theme that seems
yeah,
to start the record there.
Gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some
gone. I seem to forget to remember you're gone.
Yeah, some heartbreak songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like we mentioned, there was a, of course, we teased that earlier too, the murder ballad on there and stuff. That's another kind of heartbreak, not spoiler alert, but, like.
Do you have any happy songs, Sam?
All right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
They'll be on the next album.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It always sticks with me. I saw Aaron Lewis live at the pageant a couple of years back, and funny enough is he did a cover of Bob Seger's "Turn the Page."
Okay, yeah.
And I recorded it on my phone and I put it up on YouTube. And then like later on, one day I'm like scrolling through Facebook and then I see Bob Seger shares this video and I was like,
oh my
hey,
gosh.
that's my video. And that video,
What?
one of my YouTube videos has couple hundred million views or whatever, or not 100,000
That's crazy.
views.
Still,
and I was like, of all the live videos of him singing the song, but it was funny that he picked mine. But but anyway, I thought of it because Aaron says something along the lines, obviously all those Stain songs are a lot of really heavy, depressive songs, and he goes, but some of his newer music's kind of leaning into the country thing, and he goes, and he was introducing a newer song, and he's like, well, I messed up and I wrote a happy song, and I go, here it is, and it's like, so I just thought that was really funny to me, that the idea that this was a mistake, that an error that happened, that he wrote a happy song now.
That's a cool thing about Bluegrass. Some of the happy songs they sound happy are actually sad. If you don't listen to the vocals, you're like, man, that's
yeah.
pretty
They're all
I
like
feel like a lot of the happy
like-
songs are really slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the happy ones are all slow, and then they've got the like the upbeat, like major sounding songs will be like the most depressing lyrics you've heard.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys do that cover, you said it was Stanley Brothers song, which features the namesake. We borrowed that line. And this was a fun take on that. I don't know if that I ever really heard the original, but
It's
was
not a like super well known song.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd never even heard that song until Avery
I got a knack for
showed
doing
it
that.
to- showed it to me.
Finding the super obscure stuff.
But I really enjoyed the story in it, like you're saying, like and I'm a sucker for those type of storytelling songs like that, and it's like one of those you kind of get invested in. And you're like, man, what's going on here? But like, this
What a
story,
twist.
every album needs a song
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to buy the record to find out what happens, I guess. But we're not.
No spoilers.
Yeah. So, it was, man, like I said, there was a lot of variety, even though it all kind of, under the bluegrass umbrella and stuff. But it was fun to, like I said, having a bunch of different players on it and vocals and, even featuring Morgan, like we talked about. So this was really, I feel like a really great debut album. Like,
Thank you.
It was really,
thanks.
really
Appreciate
impressive
that
to
very
hear.
much.
Thank you.
But we do have one more we wanted to leak out too, and like just give everybody a nice little sample of some of this variety, and another one we have ready to go for you called "Old Home Place."
The old home place.
Yeah.
Old Home Place.
A good bluegrass standard.
Yeah.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Bluegrass
It's
standard.
a Missouri bluegrass song.
Dillard's.
Yeah, it's by the Dillards, which is a great Missouri band.
Mitch Jane actually wrote the tune. He was the bass player for
Yeah.
the Dillards.
Yeah,
And-
Mitch Jane.
This is a story I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but whenever they went out to Hollywood to record for the Andy Griffith Show, they were known as the Darlings. And Mitch Jane at that time, I'm not sure, somebody may correct me.
We're not telling
but
tales outside of
he
school here.
apparently learned how to play bass laying down in the back of a station wagon on the way to Hollywood.
All right.
So talk about some good old boys
Yeah.
Yeah.
from Salem.
This is another good one, though, I think, because it features the recording debut of one Sam
Yeah,
Almashon
it's the first time I've ever sang on record before.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, we ended up doing this song because Avery's grandparents really
That's true.
wanted us to put it on the
It's
record.
my grandma's favorite bluegrass song.
And we were like, you know what? It's a classic bluegrass song. It's from Missouri. We might as well do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it turned out really good.
I related because like I don't know, I enjoy lyrics a lot, and so as I'm listening, like you're singing and talking about this kind of small town thing that and they changed it up, tore some tore the town
down,
and
yeah.
it's like, and I just like, I don't know, I feel like that a lot about my hometown. Like it's not necessarily tore down. It's the opposite.
Definitely
Like,
different.
yeah, it's definitely different, and it's not like when I think about the way I grew up, and it's just like every day I'm like reminded like it's totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so that's where I kind of went to with this song. Is like it's not the same old home place for me anymore. It's like,
Especially my family's kind of from Wright City
right.
in like Warrenton.
Yeah, I'm like,
So-
I'm in Wentzville, and it's
Yeah.
like all that area is just crazy.
It's just blowing up
Yeah.
like nobody's business.
Why did you leave your plow in the field to look for a job in the
Right.
town?
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
We almost got to.
But yeah, that's so I don't know. It's definitely connected to that in that sense. Like connecting to my own story here in my own hometown.
It's been 10 long years since I left my home in the hollow where I was born, where the cool fall nights birds make the wood smoke rise, and the fox hunter blows his horn. I fell in love with a girl from the town. I thought that she would be true. I ran away to Charlottesville and worked in a sawmill or two. What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave my plow in the field and look for a job in the town? Well, my girl ran off with somebody else, and the tariffs took all my pay. And here I stand where the old home stood before they took it away. Now the geese fly south and the cold wind blows, while I sit here and hang my head. I lost my love, I lost my home, and now I wish that I was dead. What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave my plow in the field and look for a job in the town? What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave my plow in the field and look for a job in the town?
But I think those are always a good, if you're going through like checklist of what a album needs to have, I think a hometown song is,
totally.
Oh, totally.
is needed.
Especially when you're dealing with genres like
Right.
this.
Yep.
Yeah.
You kind of got the
Country,
bullet
bluegrass.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, great tune again. And this one will be, like I said, available soon. And you're going to be able to hear a lot more from this record in the coming weeks and months and stuff. But
Totally.
again, come out and enjoy the fish fry and grab a copy of the album while you're there at
Feel
on.
free to also, we will be setting up a store soon. And if you'd like an album, you can message the page, message our Instagram, and
We'll get one to you.
We'll
Yeah.
get one to you. Yeah.
Let's talk about. Is there a particular reason for the picture we chose for the album cover?
Sure, yeah. So like we were talking about with Old Home Place, my grandparents, big into bluegrass country music. So many of my old country music albums came from them, of like George Jones, Marty Robbins, Johnny Horton, guys like that. Chad just raised his arm and said, "Hallelujah, brother." So they were a huge influence on me when it came to music, and especially when it came to this music. And they've always loved Barnum Jack. And we used to have this farm in Coal Camp, Missouri, which is kind of right outside Sedalia. And they sold it probably 14 or so years ago, maybe longer. But me and my mom and brother made a trip out there and just to take a look at it. Well, we went to Kansas City, but we stopped there. And I had my camera with me, and I rolled down the car window and just took a few pictures for my own personal, memories and looking back at the farm. And when I was looking at the pictures for the album, because all the artwork, that's another thing. Well, we can get to that. But when I was looking for pictures for the artwork, I was like, this picture really kind of, again, encapsulates, the vibe that I was kind of looking for. And because it's just an open road and it's a blue sky. And again, the personal attachment that I have to it, When I showed it to my grandparents, they cried. And that's always, kind of a good feeling. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, I did you good. And
Yeah.
that was,
And it's just self-titled, right? Just
self-titled
yeah.
Barnum Jack. And getting back to the cover and everything, one thing I also really appreciate about this album in particular is that how almost grassroots it was, in the sense that, I designed the album art, I designed the back cover, Sam designed the little portrait on the back, or the collage of all of us together. And we kind of crowdfunded the album, getting into the studio. And so, again, not to use grassroots when talking about bluegrass, but it was very much, a personable and community album, I feel like. Again, getting everybody together and putting something that we all feel super confident about.
All right. I do find like, it's with, especially like in the era now with, as a independent musician and stuff, you use, it's essentially a small business. Somebody's got to take the role of social media and the website and the,
all the stuff you don't think about,
the merch, it's like, so, it's nice to have a couple of people like in the group that have, stronger in those certain, aspects, and then you all take up your own role. Like, and, so it's, but
it's a great learning process too. 'Cause a lot of this too is stuff. I mean, Sam's killing it with the social media for One Way Traffic and Barnum Jack. And, that's something you have to learn,
right?
Really. And like all this Photoshop stuff and
I was going to say
recording,
like doing Photoshop, like
it's almost
difficult.
Now it's like, you just got to learn it.
Yeah.
You can't rely on outsourcing it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if you want to do it, the right way. I feel like
That's why I just play the banjo.
and that's why Chad plays the banjo.
Right. Yeah. That,
No, Chad, you're great. I love you, Chad.
yeah, man. That, when you said, you mentioned your grandparents, they also helped, contribute the video camera to.
They did. Yeah. One of my gimmicks that I'm kind of pulling with is, a lot of our footage I want to be on, the old 90s VCR, just because I love the look of it. It looks retro. It kind of fits the whole kind of traditional bluegrass vibe of the band.
All right, this is not an Instagram filter. This is a real deal.
straight up. Real deal,
Yeah. But yeah, it's just funny little details like that are things that I love.
Well, yeah, there's a nice video you guys put together from the studio and stuff, working with Jason. So check that out on YouTube. Click subscribe, and hopefully a lot more content coming soon. But
Totally.
But yeah, so hopefully we'll hopefully be a big summer for Barnum Jack. Get out there and spread the word and sell some copies. And I appreciate that you guys did a physical release for this, because I enjoy collecting and having all those. I mean, some people, I've heard stories, people getting rid of all their old CDs and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know.
I'm holding on to mine.
Yeah.
I don't even play them anymore, but I'm
right.
still holding on to them.
Nice to have.
Hey, someday when
Just
someday when
physical
the internet
media in general, it's like,
someday when the internet crashes, we'll be
Exactly.
king. We'll be king.
Right.
if Spotify's down for a day, I mean, what are you going to do?
Right.
You're just going to sit there, twiddle your thumbs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the cool thing about like the physical albums too, is you can actually like read the back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
like-
album art.
Yeah, there's album art. You can look at it as much more of a complete piece, I feel like.
I'm still waiting for my record.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we gotta
Vinyl
get
is
these
coming.
pressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shoot fact. Vinyl is coming. We're going to raise some funds here selling the CDs, and then eventually get the big boys.
There you go.
Because, I mean, I'm telling you,
Who
folks,
doesn't want it?
you listen to this, you're going to want this on vinyl.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, man. That'd be count me in. Where's my pre-order link? But yeah, I'm a huge advocate for vinyl. I'm always trying to buy up my friends' vinyl around town, and it's cool to see that it's more tangible. Like it's like actual something that we, when I think growing up, all of it, the musicians were probably like thinking like, man, it'd be cool someday that I can get my song on an album on a
Totally.
vinyl, and it's like. And then now it's like really people, like I said, a lot of my friends are doing it, and it's really cool to see. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Just leaving a trace, beyond just like a digital trace, I think is a huge thing. And just being able to have something physically that you were a part of and that you can share in a vacuum like that, or not a vacuum, but like a situation like that, is I think, it's great.
Yeah. What? So I mean, obviously we've knocked out a bunch of things so far with the going down the list of we recorded the album, we got this produced, mastered, released. We've got all these things going. But what do you still have? A goal set for yourselves for the rest of this year? I mean, as far as like I said, I know we kind of touched on possibly touring or doing some weekends and things, but is there something else you guys think of to do?
I was going to say, I mean, just trying to get more shows, for us, would be like a bigger accomplishment. I feel like it would be cool to get on like a festival or something like that too.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've heard my buddy talk about it, but like, when you do, even when getting on a festival and like, your name's like in the real little print, and then like the next year you try to get up a little, get a little bit, bigger font, So, but that's like, it's definitely a goal, like is to keep working your way up to the ladder.
Line by line, fun by one.
There's tons of good Missouri festivals and Midwest festivals at that.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see us playing on some Midwest stuff in the near future.
Yeah. Definitely a big thing for me too is just as much music as we can put out as possible. Like,
and I think
I don't feel it too far-fetched to say that we'll probably be back in the studio. I don't know. I'd like to say the spring or the summer.
Yeah, we
got stuff that we're all ready to record, new songs. Just pump it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there like as far as your live sets, are they? Are you incorporating some of those standards and covers and stuff like that? So
we do take requests.
Yeah.
Chad takes requests.
I was going to say, we play a lot of like Flat and Scruggs is probably
the
one
classics.
of our biggest.
Bill Monroe,
Del McCurry, Larry Sparks.
Larry.
It's kind of just really whatever we've
Del.
been listening to that week.
Yeah. We do a lot of fiddle tunes also, like instrumentals. And
we definitely try to pick like some stuff that, again, kind of like where the name comes from, Girl Behind the Bar, some like unpopular bluegrass songs that people are like, oh, well, this is a really cool song. It's like, again, to have that shared reaction of like when Sam found it or when Chad found it or when I found it, we're just like, whoa, this is a really cool song. Where's this been?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times I just try to get these guys to play some of the songs that they wrote because they're just, they're good songs.
Sure. Yeah. Is like something like dueling banjos or something? Is that like the equivalent like of the Freebird to
I would say
might be one of them.
In a way.
Yeah.
I think anything like that, or you go ahead, Chad.
What's that movie? Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? A lot of people will come up and say, hey, can you play Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
I think a lot of times with stuff like that, it's easy to, kind of sit there and be like, oh, scoff or whatever. Or when people talk about, artists like Billy Strings or, these guys who are pushing the genre forward, the stuff that got us there is just as important. So when you have stuff like dueling banjos or, the Oh Brother Where Art Thou, like that's the stuff that in a lot of ways is probably making people come to the shows.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And while we don't always play those songs, we'll bust out a Foggy Mountain Breakdown like nobody's business.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, we definitely play Foggy Mountain Breakdown. That's probably one of the bigger bluegrass songs of all time.
Totally.
Right.
But stuff like that is, it's so important to getting the general audience.
Yeah, I agree. I think like, I think there's a lot to be just educating people on it, like coming out, hey, like if you like this, like, hey, we got plenty more of this, if like we can play all kinds of other songs besides the one you saw in the movie or whatever, but yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot to, I think if as long as they're interested in it, like, at least they get that hook from the one thing, like maybe we'll, keep hitting them with all kinds of other tunes and make them fans.
Yeah.
One good song deserves another.
Right. Yeah. But I do think I just think like it's you think about some of the bar band stuff, like obviously there's a reason why those are like the memes that they are and stuff.
Sure.
Like some of those songs people do request a lot of the same things every weekend. But so and I would think like there's something about just like even just seeing the banjo, like your mind's gonna go right there. It's like
totally.
So
he's actually wearing shoes.
Yeah. It's like
that's a huge thing for me is whether it be music or any sort of pop culture, really, it's just preconceived notions. And because we do it all the time. we go to something and we have an idea of what it's going to be like. And I think bluegrass is totally one of those things where if you hear that, you're like, okay,
Right.
dueling
It
banjos,
goes a lot back
Deliverance.
to what you said earlier about the resurgence.
Yeah.
And I think that it's going in a good direction, and people are actually realizing, wow,
For
Yeah,
sure.
when people see like young guys like us, 5 strapping young boys playing bluegrass, it's like,
Right.
oh, whoa, okay, this is kind of hip. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
We are surrounded by a lot of gear, a lot of real nice guitars and
Appreciate that.
and things. Do you guys have a maybe a dream instrument? Is there a certain banjo or mandolin or guitar or anything that you guys
I'll
think
say
about?
this banjo sitting here is, it's an original 1954 Gibson bow tie, and it's not, a pre-war banjo, which is most sought after, but those are also, sometimes hundreds, thousands of dollars.
Right. And that's what's that.
But-
Is that because of the wood that was used or something? Why is it?
Well, before World War II, all these parts that they were using to build banjos, they were good banjos. They're old. It's old wood. And so after the war, they didn't produce any more, or during the war, they didn't produce any more parts. So all the parts that were left, that was it. So a lot of collectors and a lot of musicians are, kind of sought after the old banjos. So, but the one, like I said, the one I have is it does me well, and I'm blessed to have it. If the opportunity came where I was able to upgrade, I probably would, but I haven't sold any banjos that I bought, so I would probably just acquire another one, which I don't know how that would go, but
All right. You want to go?
Sure. I feel pretty content.
Yeah.
I play a Martin guitar. My idols played Martin guitars. All Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Peter, Paul and Mary. All those people played Martins. I'm pretty happy when it comes to that. The only other instrument that I'd ever wanted was a nice Stratocaster, and just by the happenstance of Facebook Marketplace, a guy put one on there the other day, and I traded one of my guitars for it, for the Strat, and I got a
Nice.
pedal too, and I could finally look at my collection and be like, well, I'm satisfied.
Oh, yeah.
Don't need anything else.
Nice. I was gonna say, I love my Collings mandolin that I always play. A lot of times for me though, I feel like with a mandolin, like I gotta go to a store and then I'll pick one up and I'll be like, I really want to get this one day. And there's like so many mandolins out there that are like 50 to 100 grand. It's like, I don't know if that's ever
That's crazy.
ever going
All
to be in the picture for me, but I did play this Ellis mandolin I really liked recently, just an Ellis F model. And yeah, I'd like to get one day.
Yeah. Yeah, I just always picture like that scene in Wayne's World when
Totally.
the someday she'll be mine. Oh yeah. So, but yeah, that's the thing, man. There's all kinds of expensive toys out there when it comes to gear and stuff. But yeah,
well, it's the thing about bluegrass. A lot of times we don't plug in, so we don't really have. I don't know if sometimes you use a pedal. Do you? You ever use a pedal?
Not
No?
with Barnum, no. Maybe with Lowe's.
So we don't have a whole lot of gear.
Mhm.
It's kind of a plus.
Right.
it's more on us.
yeah,
Can't
yeah.
hide behind effects or anything.
Right. Yeah. That's what I've always loved about it too. Like, just especially like, being an acoustic, I'll do a lot of like live acoustic stuff on the show with songwriters and stuff. And I'm like, just raw, it's like, there's no effects. There's just guitar and vocals or whatever, so whatever it is. So, but yeah, do you guys ever do any sets like that? Like a single mic bluegrass picking
Yeah,
round?
that's pretty much
totally.
all we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Round one
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
I'd say it depends on the venue, but most of the time we
Most of the time
definitely
it's
try
just
to
one
do
mic.
one mic.
Right.
Or two of them.
We're all kind of proficient at the whole jumping around game.
Sure.
Make room for them because they're coming in hot.
Yeah, right.
Stuff like that.
But I think that's always a lot of fun. Just,
Totally.
and-
It's a whole other, it's like I said, when you're on stage and you're in that moment, it's just raw. It's like, all right, he's coming in.
Yeah.
Let's go.
yeah,
You got to be on your toes at all times.
definitely. Well, very cool. I'm excited to see some more Barnum Jack. I actually haven't been able to see a live show yet, so that's definitely my goal. And maybe March 8th, that fish fry will be a great excuse to come out and have a good time and enjoy some tasty food along the way. And
Definitely be on the lookout. We're definitely
keep your eyes on the
moving
page.
forward on some venues around town.
Stuff and,
yeah. And hit up the socials. You got a new Instagram page, Facebook, and YouTube for all your video content. And but yeah, hopefully this will be a big summer for Barnum Jack and this brand new record. So
thanks.
I think it will be.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you guys taking some time to hang with me, and let's do it again soon, man. Sounds like you guys are already gearing up for record number 2.
Yep. Always moving.
So
always up.
Well, I'm excited to hear what's next.
There she is, Morgan White, singer of Pennies.
There she is.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
you,
Shane.
Bye, everyone.
Appreciate you.
see ya.